What's up, you guys? It's Ben Nader. Thank you so much for checking out my channel again. I really appreciate all of those that have subscribed so far, who want to learn about entrepreneurship, building a business, starting an agency, whether it be recruiting or whatever kind of agency you're starting. I'm here to talk about all that kind of stuff. And so if you like that and you enjoy that, smash the subscribe button. I don't know why you're not subscribed already. I see a ton of you viewing my videos. Subscribe right now. Truly appreciate it. So let's jump right into today's video, which is all about knowing your value and knowing your worth in business and in life. So let's talk about this. So starting a recruiting agency, which is what I did about 1.5 years plus ago now, and it was all about value. So if you haven't heard, the only way you get paid in this world is by providing value to people. So ultimately, you need something, some skill, some asset, some knowledge, some information that you can provide to the marketplace that will then pay you back for your value. And you'll ultimately get paid commensurately with that value. So as much value as you bring, that's how much you're going to get paid. And so it's behoove you to actually learn and understand more and more about your trade, your craft, what you're delivering, and the services you're doing to get more and more revenue and make more money. So for in my case, I started a recruiting agency. And so the more and more I learn about recruiting and the more fields and niches I understand, the more that I can recruit for, the more I can scale, and the more money I can make. But the first portion of this is knowing your value. And this is extremely important. I mentioned this in one video that I did, I think about 3 days ago, where I talked about you have to maintain a valuable mindset, meaning you have to convey yourself as a valuable person. And I wanted to just delve into another video specifically about value and how that relates to your business and your success overall. So basically, in the beginning, you pretty much have to have a fake it till you make it attitude. And whether or not you know you're providing value or not, you're providing value, period. Just because you are. So in the beginning of my recruiting agency, I talked to clients who wanted XYZ and they wanted to know if I could do it, and my answer was always yes. I was a yes man. I've always been a yes man, and I've continued to be a yes man. The reason I am a yes man about everything is because I go and I learn and I figure out exactly what I need to do. So I inject my entrepreneurial skills to create value by delivering on what they need. So whatever it is that they might need, whether it's sales or heating and ventilation and air conditioning, or warehouse, distribution, delivery, whatever, I understand all the markets because I go and learn about the markets. I learn about the job descriptions. I learn about the type of people they want specifically, and I provide value that way. But knowing that you're a valuable person is paramount. And I'll describe another element of this, because this is the biggest part. When you work with clients and when you present your services, you must understand that you are a highly valuable person to them. They need you just as much as you need them. And I would almost argue that they need you more than you need them, because there's plenty of them, there's only one of you. Now, there's a lot of recruiters and recruiting agencies out there that they can work with and do whatever, but ultimately there's only one of you, and you know how good of value you can provide. And so from my perspective, the way I think about it is that I'm valuable as hell. And if someone wants to work with me, they're just going to need to understand that I'm extremely valuable, my time is valuable, the things I can do and the services I can provide are extremely valuable for them. And so they're going to know that. And they need to know that. So they need to respect my time. They need to respect my constraints, my contract, my terms, and everything that I'm going to work with. I'll budge, I'll negotiate, and I'll work with them, and I'll make sure that everything is square and fair. But at the end of the day, I use a few different techniques and tactics to find out that I am ensured that I'm being valued. So, for instance, one of them may be if I'm talking to a client and the client begins ghosting me, or they don't respond to me as frequently as they should. If I have a candidate at the door, waiting at the door, ready to be interviewed, and someone's not responsive, or they're not interested in, getting back to me right when I send a resume over. In this marketplace, that's unheard of, because people need to get hired whether on the spot or within a few days. And me providing that value to them is immense, because they haven't found that person. They had me find that person. And if they're not responsive enough to get back to you and, like work with you, as soon as you send over candidates and resumes and whatnot, they're not respecting your value. Your value is high. You need to remember that. Your value is way up here, and you're deserving of respect and value from them that they should reciprocate back to you. If they're not doing that, it's time to move on and say no to that client and move on to a different client. It's totally okay to say no to a client and go chase another client and replace them. You get to choose who you work with. So running a recruiting agency specifically, you have the choice. You can work with any type of company that you want if you know the niche properly enough and you can connect with the decision makers properly. You get to choose who you work with. And so a lot of people don't understand this. We're not beggars. Like, I'm not begging on the street to find someone that will let me fill their positions. Like, I'm offering a service and it's of value and they will pay me for that service. And if they're not going to respect what I can bring to the table, then they can forget about it. They can go on and they can do it themselves, or they can hire someone else for more of a fee and higher rates and all of that. But at the end of the day, I know what my value is because I know that I provide a perfect rate for them. I know that I provide a lot of service to them. I'm on email like 24/7. So I'm getting back to people and I'm working the game like 24/7 and intimately communicating with my clients and candidates so that I can get, people on board and solve problems as soon as they need to come up. When someone has a hiring issue, I'm all over the board. I'm getting them candidates and I do it like that. And I know that value of mine. So I expect that to be reciprocated, and you should too. So if you're starting an agency, understand that you have to enter into the mindset that you are extremely valuable, most of the time more valuable than the client themselves. And if you use that mindset, I guarantee you will go further than you've ever expected, because people respect value. People respect people that come off confident and valuable, and they will understand it just by using your voice, your inflection, the way you act, the things that you say to them when you speak with clients, and the way that you represent your services and your businesses has to come across in a valuable manner, and you need to know how to do that. And so I'm going to be doing more videos on exactly how to interact with clients and what you should do and what you shouldn't do in order to maintain good relationships and things like that. You never want to sever a relationship on bad terms, but there are definitely times when relationships should just go by the wayside because they're not worth it for you. Because you've got to remember, you're a valuable person, you're a valuable service, and your time is most certainly valuable because it's the most scarce resource on earth. And your time working on candidates for clients that aren't very respectful, it's not really going to fly. It doesn't fly with me. It shouldn't fly with you. Even if you're a beginner and you're just getting one of your first or second clients and they're being disrespectful or they're non-responsive or they're, hassling you about a 10% fee or looking to get a 90-day guarantee when they're just hiring an administrative assistant or something like that. Know your worth. Know your value. These things come very important because at the end of the day, that's all you have. You have your brand name, you have who you are and the services you provide, but ultimately you have your value. And value can be interchanged with your integrity, and it's really who you are. So if you want to be like cut rate, and if you want to just provide basic services and, work with clients that, kind of treat you like crap and don't really respond to you when they're supposed to, or they don't actually give you the proper fee that you're deserving of, or they think your 10% is outrageous or something like that. If you want to work with those people, go ahead and do it. But the problem is you're not going to be respected, and it's not going to end well because you're going to have payment issues. You'll probably have a lot of churn. Employees will quit. Your candidates will need to be replaced, things like that. And so I'm trying to make this video right now just to let you know that, number one, you're valuable. Number two, it's the utmost benefit to you to go into every single client relationship knowing your value and conveying your value by showing it, by being confident and almost to the point of being pompous or cocky, to a toned level, showing them that you know what you're doing, you're the expert, and that you can provide the value that they need more than they even know. So I've talked a little bit about being a consultant and how a little bit of being in recruiting and starting a recruiting agency is kind of consulting, because you actually have to influence and educate your clients on a lot of things. Sometimes people come on board and they might not be getting the proper training that they need. And this is something that you need to talk to your client about, because if you communicate with the candidate and they let you know, well, I haven't been trained in 2 weeks, or no one told me how to do this or that, and I don't know what's going on. Well, the candidate's going to flop and they're going to leave. That's what's going to happen. So you need to have conversations where you show your value and you come out and you consult with that hiring manager and say, well, what do you have going on your side, as far as onboarding? How are you training candidates that I'm bringing over in these positions? You know what I mean? It's a two-way street at the end of the day. So ultimately, know your value, know who you are, know the services you're providing, and know that people will respect you more for coming across as a more valuable person that you truly, truly are. So that's it today, Thursday, guys. I'll catch you on Friday. I hope you're having an awesome week, and I will soon talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Peace.